So this is our opportunity to kind of get out front of some of the expectations we're going to have next year for the classroom and hallway expectations. One of the first ones, and this comes from both students and staff, wanting to know what the expectations are and making sure that everybody is on the same playing field and that the same rules apply in all classrooms and in the hallway to all students, so that if you walk into a English classroom and then into a math classroom, that we're not expecting two different sets of rules all the time, that the rules are always the same. They're the same for 7 hours a day for all 14 classes that a student would have next year with us. The first one is that all students have to be in class and have all their supplies with them when the bell rings. They're there, ready to go, and have a purpose for that class each day, that we're not sending kids out to go to out in the hallway to get additional items that they didn't bring with. The expectations they bring everything with. That brings us to the next piece. One of the big things that we've seen is kids straggling in around 8:25, 8:30, and class starts at 8:20. So one of the things we're really going to focus hard on, especially first hour, but all the hours, and this goes for us as adults and the students, is when the bell rings at 8:20, all students need to be inside the door ready to go. If they're not, the door will close. Students will not be allowed in. They'll have to come to the office to get a pass and will be marked unexcused until they get back to their teacher, and their teacher then makes the change in their attendance, or the office makes the unexcused absence into a tardy instead. So we'll be having conversations with students who are where they're supposed to be right away. We want to make sure that students understand that the importance of being on time is an expectation after they graduate from us. And when you move on to the work, military, or college, some places you go to when you come late, they ask you to go home. Non-negotiable in the military, and it's not uncommon for college professors to say, my class starts at 9 o'clock, you walk in at 9:01, you're not welcome, you need to leave for the day. So we're trying to put expectations, real life opportunities in place for everybody, and that the expectations are the same all the way through. This will be for sure first hour, and we'll expect our teachers to be in the classrooms, making sure students are there and that attendance is taken in the first 5 minutes. One of the other things that we're changing, we're seeing a lot of food and a lot of food being left out and a lot of food being left in bathrooms. So some of the things we've been talking about as staff is that's not appropriate. And next year we're going to go back that all lunches have to be eaten in the cafeteria. We'll have space for our high school students. Once they're done eating and they've dumped their food in the garbage, then we'll be able to go back up to space, sit, and relax and have some soft conversations. But there won't be any lunch out in the hallways or in the activities office moving forward. We've also noticed that kids are walking off campus during lunch. We are not an open campus. We don't have open lunch. So the doors here will be monitored also on that process, so those things don't happen in the future. One of the other things we talked about, I just mentioned the bathroom and the food. We see people leaving food in the bathroom on the ledges. That's extremely disgusting. You don't know what someone else has done on that ledge in the bathroom, and if it is really sanitary, even though it's been cleaned each night. So there should be no food in the bathrooms. And then in the classrooms, the concern there is kids are bringing in food from lunch. Food will be eaten in the cafeteria, as I said. The only food that will be in the classrooms will be first hour, because that's when we have breakfast. It's a grab and go opportunity to eat quick and to put it in the garbage. Snacks from teachers would be something that they would have to allow to happen with permission from the staff here. And we're looking to limit the number of coffees and caffeine drinks that are brought into the classrooms, instead going back to, if you want something to drink, bring a bottle of water or a container that has water in it. And the other piece is we're really going to be monitoring language in the hallway. We've had some concerns about some swearing and inappropriate language and some inappropriate comments towards other people. So those are the things that we're going to be hitting and listening to really hard on next year, and be pulling in kids one-on-one in the conversations on how those things need to be happening as we move forward. A lot of this has come from hearing students. They want to be all treated the same and have the same expectations in classrooms. They want to have the same expectations 7 hours a day, not each hour having different rules. So our goal is to make sure that we have these expectations up and out. This is coming to you this year at the end of the school year. So next year when we come back, we'll have this conversation again. And these will be posted in our hallway and in our classroom, so everybody's extremely clear and it's crystal clear that everybody's on the same page. Thank you.
We've been revisiting our electronic device policy, and with that, we've decided to do some things that are going to look a little different around our high school, and we wanted students to be prepared for that. We're really working hard with our teacher leadership group and our high school staff to come up with a plan that's going to work best for everybody, and we understand that that change could cause some hard times for kids if they don't know what they're coming into. So we wanted you to know that next year, once we come back to school, students will not be allowed to have cell phones in classrooms. They won't be visible at any point in time. They can't be set on your desk. They can't be pulled out to check the time. And any time a cell phone is visible in class, teachers will have a designated space for them, whether it's a big white tub or clear tub, or something that looks like a calculator pocket chart that's hanging on a doorway. But there will be a safe space for students to store their cell phones. No matter what, they're not allowed to be seen and put back into a backpack or into a pocket. We're going to make sure that we're following these steps in every single classroom. If a student needs to leave the classroom to use the restroom, their cell phone will be their pass out of the classroom. So for example, if I were to leave Mr. Solin's geography class, I would put my cell phone into the designated space, and even when I returned back from the restroom, that cell phone would stay there till the end of the class period. We do understand that that's a change, but this is a change that has taken place in many schools across the area, and we're looking to find ways to improve our instructional setting, and this distraction is one thing that we're trying to work around. And so again, it's going to come with some steps in the process along the way, educating students, educating parents, working with teachers, and then that also goes along with earbuds or headphones. Earbuds or headphones will not be allowed to be worn in any classroom setting. That's of course unless the teacher has you working with something off of a Chromebook or school issued device where you need to be listening to a Google Classroom podcast or something of that nature. And so all of these expectations will be enforced systematically across the high school classrooms next school year, and we want to make sure that kids are aware of these changes. Obviously, we are also working with students through the communication process on this, and we have taken student input into play, and we will continue to monitor and adjust and do what we feel is best for our high school as we move forward into the next school year.